केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Namaskar, good evening. You're watching the Newshour at 9 and I am Swati Joshi. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi is taking his student outreach to Uttar Pradesh next. Tomorrow he will be in Prayagraj for the next edition of Chhatron Ki Goonj, calling unemployment and paper leaks the biggest betrayal of India's youth. Rahul says the system has no future to offer to our students and that this is a challenge he wants to collectively address.
मैं प्रयागराज में रोजगार के बारे में, जॉब सिचुएशन के बारे में आपसे चर्चा करने आ रहा हूं और मैं एक बात को 100% एक्सेप्ट करता हूं कि आज के हिंदुस्तान में जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, चाहे वो एजुकेशन हो, चाहे वो रोजगार हो, उनका आज हिंदुस्तान में भविष्य नहीं है और इसको हम सबको मिलकर बदलना है। आपकी एनर्जी के साथ, आपकी आवाज के साथ हम मिलकर इस प्रॉब्लम को रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं।
So politically, of course, this visit is significant. Prayagraj is one of India's biggest coaching hubs. UP goes to polls next year and Congress is doubling down on students and job seekers as a key constituency ahead of the election. But this is not Congress's stated intent. They say this is a fight for youth. But if that's the mission, why is Rahul Gandhi not headed to Ranchi? Why are protesters raising similar demands over recruitment and exams still waiting for a visit? And here is how the Congress party explains Rahul Gandhi's absence from Ranchi.
Rahul Gandhi is planning to go to everywhere. He has openly told in the media that every government should hear to the problems of the students. So he has planned to go everywhere. He cannot go on a single day to everywhere. He definitely will go when the plan is already prepared. He will go, and that is why he has given in the media.
So Rahul Gandhi can't be everywhere and fair enough. But students aren't staging mass agitations everywhere either. Protesters aren't being hospitalized after indefinite hunger strike everywhere. That's happening only in Ranchi. So why is Ranchi not on Rahul Gandhi's itinerary? That's the question that has been hanging over Congress for the past 2 weeks, and yesterday it was asked again. After nearly 2 weeks of mounting pressure, Rahul finally reached out, he reacted, but all that Jharkhand got was a phone call.
राहुल गांधी जी ने बोला ठीक है, आप लोग का जो भी कुछ मांग है, आप मांग को हमारे व्हाट्सएप कीजिए हमको, हम उस पर गंभीर है और जो भी हमसे बन पाएगा हम करेंगे। यही बात हुआ। उनका कहना था कि हम सरकार से बात करेंगे, लेकिन हम आपके माध्यम से आदरणीय राहुल गांधी जी से यही अपील करूंगा, अगर आप सच में छात्रों के साथ है तो अपना ट्रेंड को क्लियर कीजिए। हम छात्रों के साथ है, जितना जल्दी हो सके सरकार से हम लोग के मांग को मनवाइए। अगर सरकार आपके कहने के बावजूद भी हम लोग का मांग पर गंभीर नहीं है तो आपको जो है सो सरकार के साथ रहने का कोई औचित्य नहीं बनता है। आपको नैतिकता के नाते छात्रों के साथ रहना चाहिए।
Clearly, the students want more than solidarity. They want accountability. Ranchi's student leaders say if Congress truly stands with them, it must either force Hemant Soren government to act or explain why it remains in the coalition. This demand is not coming from a political party, but the aggrieved. It is organic, it is not organized. And these very students have also been seeking Hemant Soren's resignation.
हम लोग की बस इतना मांग है, जेपीएससी को पूरी तरह से रद्द किया जाए, हेमंत सोरेन अपना इस्तीफा दें। इससे कम में कोई उपाय नहीं है।
दिल्ली नहीं है, ये झारखंड है। यहाँ पे जो छात्र हैं उनके जो मुद्दे हैं वो क्लियरिटी के साथ उन्होंने रखा है। जब धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी रिजाइन कर सकते हैं तो आप कौन सा खेत का मूल्य रिजाइन नहीं कर सकते?
So herein lies the question. Will leader of opposition stand with this demand? At Jantar Mantar, Congress playbook is uncompromising. Punishment, apology, resignation. But in Jharkhand, where Congress is part of the government, the vocabulary changes. Dialogue, advice, assurances. No public demand for Hemant Soren's apology. No call for the Chief Minister's resignation. No insistence that he personally answer the assembly. So has Jantar Mantar model quietly stopped at the Jharkhand border?
जेंजी जो है सरकार का हिस्सा है, उन्हीं का तो मैंडेट, जो हमारी सरकार जो है इतने सालों से जो है वो जेंजी का ही मैंडेट है। जो प्रोटेस्ट पे 10-15 जो है गालियां देने वाले ही जेंजी हैं। आज जो झारखंड बच्चे बैठे हैं और इतने अच्छे से प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं।
My request is that what we have done in the center, they should do in the state.
And that brings us to the legitimate question we are asking tonight. Why is Rahul Gandhi not headed to Ranchi? Let's open this up and take that question across to our guests.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And tonight we are joined by Radhika Kheda, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have Professor Rakesh Sinha, RSS ideologue, Ishkaran Bhandari, senior lawyer, Supreme Court, Priyanka Kakkad, national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Sanjay Jha, author, Kunal Sarangi, national spokesperson of JMM, and we also have Rishabh Shah, founder of IIMUN. Let me first come to you, Mr. Jha. Rahul Gandhi has announced on social media that he is going to Prayagraj. In that same post, he says, "Sarkar jhukti hai, ek saath awaaz uthani chahiye." So when it comes to Jharkhand, Rahul Gandhi talks about dialogue. Jharkhand में सरकार को क्यों नहीं झुका रहे? That's a question which is being asked by the student protesters from Ranchi.
Yeah, let me just quickly answer you, Swati, because the issue of all these struggles the students are going through, whether it is exam cancellations or the scandal and corruption in the Modi government and education ministry, where the education minister has resigned, is beyond mere politics. So let's move beyond the optics. Yes, there is a distinct problem across the country in several states where the BJP ruled the opposition, and Jharkhand is an example where there is currently a deadlock or a gridlock that needs to be resolved. Now, here is a difference, I believe, in the way one political party handles it vis-a-vis the others. Now, as you're seeing, even in the case of Jharkhand, Rahul Gandhi has firstly been talking about the student issue long before it actually became the massive public, shall we say, movement in Jantar, Mantar. Now, here's the truth. The Congress is in a coalition government in Jharkhand. And as you heard, and I'm very glad you made out that clip, Rahul has personally spoken to the students concerned, and he's obviously been in touch with his own government and Mr. Soren, who's the chief minister, to say, listen, guys, we need to troubleshoot and resolve this at the earliest. If we do not demonstrate sensitivity, then we are actually insulting India's not just Gen Z, but I think the entire future generation. And there is one last point which is very critical, because I know you got a lot of panelists on the program. There is no one who's calling the protesters a gutter generation. No one is going to fire pellets at them. There is going to be no police state lathi charge on people. No woman is going to have batons and lathis, kind of abused on them, in broad daylight. No one is going to come and call them an anti-national criminal rogues. Nobody is going to come and say that we'll shoot you at sight if we have an opportunity.
So will Rahul Gandhi actually go to Ranchi only when lathi charge happens and pellets are fired? Because till about Sonam Wangchuk was protesting and was on a hunger strike, Rahul Gandhi never went to Jantar Mantar. But I have a different question. It's about the reaction. In the national capital, Rahul Gandhi said, "Baat hi nahi karenge, hame resignation chahiye." But in Jharkhand, Rahul Gandhi says, "Let's have a dialogue. I will speak to the government. Baatcheet karenge." Difference of approach when it comes to the national capital and Jharkhand. No, one second. Now, before you respond to that, and I involve all the other panelists, and we can have a fiery chat later, let me quickly go across to Rishabh Shah, founder of IIMUN. And Rishabh Shah, that conversation that you had, posing tough questions coming in from Gen Z to the RSS chief, has a lot of people talking, reacting, some saying, oh, look, RSS is revamping, RSS is understanding the mood on ground, the changing perception and sentiment, and then there are others who are saying ye damage control hai. Your first comment on the feedback.
No, I will. Well, that is, firstly, thank you for having me on the show. I think that is for the public to decide. For us, we'd invited him about a year ago and he accepted the invitation. Of course, it comes at a time which is very opportune, which is where essentially young people have a lot of questions and a lot of demands. And I think he was very magnanimous in accepting the invitation, re-accepting the invitation at this juncture. And also when I requested him saying, let's have a dialogue, samvad karte hai. So he was very open to it, which is something which in the 100th year of the RSS at least, I've seen very few times. And especially in this year, I think this was the first time where he was willing to have a question answer session on topics which I had not shared with him, and on issues which are very pressing for Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So I think that magnanimity must be appreciated, whether it was an image change or whether it wasn't an image change. The fact he called these protesters, he specifically and categorically said that nobody out there is anti-national. That in itself settles the entire debate, the political debate around this, saying that whether are they anti-national or not. I think Gen Z and Gen Alpha have real demands, and those demands are changes in education. Those are demands, changes in topics such as mental health, climate change, employment need to be dealt with, and we need to stop the politicization and the theaterization of all of these things. It's about time that anybody who's serious about the issue stops demanding resignations and starts actually working on ground.
Rishabh, you say that one particular reaction from Mr. Mohan Bhagwat that Gen Z is not anti-national has pretty much settled the debate. Quite contrary to what you're saying are the reactions coming in where the opposition is saying that agar anti-national nahi hai, to why did you not speak when the lathi charge was happening? Why was there no instant reaction? What I want to understand from you, is there genuinely an undercurrent that the political party is now stumbling upon, realizing, and that's why we see this beeline to woo the Gen Z voters?
Yes, well, we work with 150,000 schools and colleges, and I can tell you this as a matter of fact. For the last 15 years, I've been seeing this resentment in young people only increase. It's not towards any particular government. It's not about the BJP or the Congress. But when you talk about Hindu-Muslim even still, when you talk about Mandir Masjid even still, when you're not talking about real issues, and these real issues are now in the Hindi heartland of Jharkhand. Now, this is not the urban elite who are making this kind of demands and these kind of statements. But this is essentially a pan-India phenomenon that Gen Z and Gen Alpha are tired of the politics of today. I think the political parties were caught on the back foot. CJP, as much as I disagree with the manner of the protests, I disagree with the Andolan that took place. I'm a big believer in Samvad. The fact that they were able to get 22 million followers overnight, and the BJP and the Congress together have not been able to do that. The fact that these people were able to force them to have dialogue, and today increasingly at our platform itself, we are seeing more and more leaders wanting to have dialogue and wanting to engage with young people. So for long, my generation, which is millennials, and I say this, we're very deferential, we're very polite. This generation is unabashedly unashamed of asking for what they want. So if this generation and their wants and their desires are not met with, they're not going to stop from entering the street and making this into another Nepal or Bangladesh, which it should not become. And therefore my plea, my earnest and humble entreaty via your channel to all the people who are watching is this. Start engaging before it's too late, because if you don't engage, if you don't have dialogue, and if you don't listen to their demands, this generation will come out on the street. There are 40 crore Gen Z, and Gen Alpha is one step ahead of them.
You're steering clear.
It's a normal
You are steering clear of politics. But let me ask you, Rishabh Shah, does it make a difference when a leader like Rahul Gandhi, shows his presence among the students just the way he did in Jantar, Mantar? Not in Jantar, Mantar exactly, but outside the Prime Minister's residence. Did that make a difference in the entire movement and getting that resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan? Would it make a difference if he goes to Ranchi?
Well, of course, when political leaders of such weight make statements like Mohanji made a statement yesterday when Mr. Gandhi did that kind of a protest, of course it has national ramifications. That's when the media starts looking at what are the real issues of students per se, and I'm so glad that the conversation has now steered to that. But my request is this, that how about the politicians for a second leave the politics aside and start really thinking about Gen Z and Gen Alpha? Because like I said, this is a civically conscious and a politically vocal generation. Mine was a civically conscious, but politically, they would never engage. this generation is engaging, and it is engaging in large numbers. The recent results that have come out of the polls also are clear of the fact that this generation is going to go out and vote in huge numbers as well. So for all political parties, I do believe that they are serious about young people, including, which I would like to believe the Indian National Congress. At this juncture, they should stand with the students of Jharkhand. And more than the Indian National Congress, I think it is about the CJP, the BJP, and all of these people who claim to be the voices of young people. Why are you not, as Sir Chalak ji said yesterday, हम संवाद क्यों नहीं कर रहे? ये हमारे ही लोग हैं, तो हमारे लोगों के साथ संवाद क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? So I do believe that the Hemant Soren's government should definitely.
The data that you were just citing of the population of the Gen Z is math that the political parties have already worked out. That's the calculation that they've already done. That's why you see this, like I said, beeline being made by politicians to woo Gen Z. Just a quick question before this debate gets extremely political and fiery. A quick question. Any invitation to Rahul Gandhi on cards?
Of course, he's a person who I've spoken to in the past as well, and he's spent a lot of time with our leadership team. This was during COVID, but it's an open invitation not just to Mr. Gandhi, but to everybody who's concerned about young India, that please continue to engage with this organization, and not just this organization, please engage with young people, and that's my humble entreaty via you. Once again, thank you for having me on the show, and thank you for focusing, in the middle of all of this politics, thank you for focusing on young people and student issues.
That's the crux of the entire debate. That's where the focus should be and not politics. Thank you very much, Rishabh Shah, for speaking with us. Now, let me go across to our panelists, to Radhika Khera. And I'm going to pick up from where Sanjay Jha left. He says, dialogue is happening in Jharkhand, and it will happen in this manner because there's no lathi charge happening on protesters. There's no pellet gun being fired on them. They're not being called anti-nationals. So Rahul Gandhi has given an assurance. ठीक है, मैं सरकार से बात करूंगा.
Swati, first of all, we have not called our students anti-national. So the opposition is trying, जैसे उन्होंने किया था ना, संविधान खतरे में है, संविधान बदल दिया जाएगा. They're trying to portray that the government has called them anti-nationals. We have not called our students anti-nationals. If we thought they were anti-nationals, we would have arrested Mr. Dipke when he was arriving from New York at the airport itself. We gave him permission. He protested, peaceful protest. We are only talking about those 2,800 people who were rapists, murderers, molesters, who tried to turn it into an anti-national protest, who were saying, and there were anti-national people who were talking about Khalid over there. They're not nationalists. Having said that, you ask why Rahul Gandhi isn't heading to Ranchi. The answer is very simple. Because Ranchi is where the mayor is, and Rahul Gandhi is terrified of his own reflection. Delhi to Ranchi is a 1 hour, 55-minute flight. That is, if he has the time to fly across the world for secret vacations, he should also have time to go to his own alliance state. He has cancelled about 4 to 5 Chhatri Guj events because of his personal holidays. He has time to do photo ops, do these dramas to try. Did you see the kind of expressions he had when that press conference was happening yesterday? He's doing these things. He has a time to make reels and try to school the Prime Minister, but he does not have 2 hours to fly to Ranchi, and probably would have taken his private jet, would have reached faster.
Now, Radhika, I'm not a body language expert, so I won't be able to analyze Rahul Gandhi's expressions or his posture or anything else. But, I have a question. One second. Now, there is a politics of convenience which is being practiced by every side. Nishikant Dubey says that if this is not resolved by the 13th, then I'll go on a hunger strike. There was no such urgency when it came to the national capital. You know what that proves? Nobody will speak against their own government. So why should Rahul Gandhi be looked at differently? Why will he act differently?
First, we engaged with the students. We gave them permission to protest. We tried to reach out to them earlier also, but there was a communication gap, and that samvad could not happen. Now, Rahul Gandhi does not want to go to Jharkhand. He does not want to go to Karnataka. He does not want to go to Himachal, and he does not even want to pick up the phone to call up Mr. Kejriwal, who lives in the same Delhi that he does. Kabhi-kabhi Punjab chale jate hain, but he has not even called him up. He has the time to go and vote for him during the Lok Sabha elections. But what we have to see is that the coalition government that he is in Jharkhand.
But how was there an engagement how was there an engagement in the national capital for 22 days? Ma'am, Sonam Wangchuk was on a hunger strike. 1 second, he was on a hunger strike. People were protesting because that's their legitimate right, fundamental right to protest, isn't it?
Swati, I heard that just 30 seconds ago. We tried reaching out to him. There was a log in between that we couldn't happen. So, but eventually it happened, and our ministers, two very senior ministers of the party, went and reached out. Now, number two. Today, Mr. Irfan Ansari, who is the health minister, also an MLA from Congress party, he was asked the full form of JPSC. And he did not know the full form of JPSC. That is what Congress party is doing. And let's leave it at that. Now you're talking about, Mr. Jha was saying, phone calls ho rahi hain, just 10 seconds. Phone call ho rahi hai, phone call ho rahi hai. Now in the 3-minute phone call he made, the student leaders themselves told him on that call, if your government in Jharkhand is not listening to you, then make the alliance on moral grounds. Has he?
Ma'am, Sanjay Jha will answer. Sanjay Jha will answer on that. But I asked you about the urgency that Nishikant Dubey is showing. As far as hunger strike is concerned in Ranchi. That never happened. That never happened in Jantar Mantar. That never happened in Jantar Mantar. So it is politics of convenience because there you have a Congress JMM ki sarkar. Let me bring in Kunal Sarangi. Kunal Sarangi, Radhika Kheda says, our ministers engaged. One second. Radhika Kheda says that our ministers engaged with the protesting students, their representatives. But in Ranchi, Mr. Sarangi, there are officials who are going and talking to the students. Students are asking, कि मंत्री कब आएंगे अब बात करने? The government only keeps saying, yes, we are very serious, we are committed to the cause, we'll ensure that things change on ground, but they're not willing to meet the students?
Swati, thank you for having me on the show. First of all, I'd like to put the record straight. As we speak, there is a government delegation and also a delegation from the student side, which is meeting at 7 p.m. tonight, to the evening. The meeting is going on while we speak. So when it comes to engagement, I will clarify this, that before the protest started, even before the protest started, our own investigative agency, CID, started the crackdown by raiding those locations. More than 20 locations were raided. More than 19 people have already been arrested related to the scam. And when it comes to discussing the core subject, I guess we are still discussing something very peripheral, whether Rahul Gandhi can take a flight to Ranchi or join the students or not. Modi ji and Amit Shah ji was far away from the Jantar site where the students were protesting. Why they didn't bother visiting? Rahul Gandhi has shown his solidarity and he has a government and he has complete trust in our government and we are doing our job. The Chief Minister...
Mr. Sarangi, these questions are being asked by students who are protesting in Ranchi. No, since you said why are we asking this question, those questions have been asked by the students who are protesting in Ranchi, 14th day, just by the way. So if those students, one second, no, allow me to finish the question. Allow me to finish the question. Now that the students are asking Rahul Gandhi that if you cannot ensure that the government acts, why are you even part of the coalition?
I understand Congress has sent a delegation, the senior ministers have met the students. That is going on. Rahul Gandhi also may visit. What I'm trying to clarify here is the main important steps that our government has taken. It's a three-pronged approach. The Chief Minister met the governor yesterday to apprise him of the situation. There is a high-powered committee which has 4 ministers, two from JMM, one from RJD, one from Congress. And tonight there's a meeting happening. So let us wait till the CID inquiry gets completed. And people
we've been waiting, like I said, 14th day. We've all been waiting very, very patiently, especially those students in harsh weather conditions protesting. These questions are being raised by them. They are the ones who've put forward a set of demands and are not willing to budge. So I think you should focus there instead of getting into this argument and counters. Focus. But you are not. But you are not, sir. You are not. How many demands those students have been met? And why is it that despite this assurance from Rahul Gandhi and from the Chief Minister himself, the students are not willing to end their hunger strike? Now, 1 second, sir. 1 second. Let me involve other. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds.
So when it comes to this demand that there should be an ED or CBI inquiry, I will just clarify this. JPSC 1 and JPSC 2 were investigated by the CBI. It is still pending. And what ED did in the case of our Honorable Chief Minister, the entire nation saw that. And the people also gave them a befitting reply. So don't try to misguide the students by, raising the demand that ED and CBI are a solution to all the problems. That is not the case. So let the
Once again, at the cost of repeating myself, I am putting forward the questions that have been put by the student protesters. If they're demanding a probe by the central agency, I'm just putting forward what you have to say. Let me go across to Ishkaran, and then one second, Ishkaran, then Priyanka. I know Radhika, you want to come in and counter. I'll come. Sanjay Jha also wants to counter. Ishkaran Bhandari. Now it's very simple. The Congress party says we are having a samvad. Our government is very sensitive, very serious, committed to the cause, and we are not doing any lathi charge or firing any pellets. So we are very much in sync with the demands of the student protesters. So the BJP need not stir up things.
Firstly, there is no lathi charge, but also there is nobody saying let's go to the assembly and uproot the assembly, or let's march to the CM's house and occupy the CM's house. So why are we comparing apples with oranges? People in Jharkhand are protesting peacefully, and I salute them for peaceful protest. Now come to the larger issue. That is exactly what is the problem which Congress has been facing for last 15 years. Jantar, Mantar an issue, they got gifted a beautiful issue, I would say, for their political purposes, because the genuine grievance of the student, which was the bedrock, and I've always maintained there was a genuine grievance, was festering. And they took that issue from CJP or tried to politics on that issue. Very good. You should do politics. A political party should do politics. But then, therein the problem starts. When you have to lead by example, you suddenly disappear and start making excuses, and that the voter sees. When Narendra Modi ji was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he created a model in Gujarat, said this is how I will govern Gujarat if you give me an opportunity in Bharat. And the people gave the opportunity. Congress, why it was in Rajasthan, it's a joke, and your team can take out the number of paper leaks that happened there. People stopped counting it because there was not a paper which would not leak. In fact, there's a video Priyanka Vadra editing that fact. What did they do? Nothing about it. Then when they come to Jharkhand, they are in party, they should take a moral ground that we are part of the government, we are supporting it because there is paper leak. It's 14 days. How many days do you need? Why not 4 hours on a sensitive issue? Especially a sensitive issue in which you want to take the lead in the nation. Lead by example in Jharkhand. Lead by example in your states. That is the problem. Even if a problem occurs in any ruling party, including BJP, there will be issues, there will be problems. But Congress's problem is that nobody trusts it to come and solve that problem, and Jharkhand is just the latest.
Is it only Congress's problem, or is this the problem of the opposition? Questions also being asked on when will Mr. Kejriwal go, Priyanka Kakkad. Radhika Khera said, why can't Rahul Gandhi call up Mr. Kejriwal, who also lives in Delhi, and why can't the entire opposition come together in Jharkhand? Is it because there's a Congress JMM government? Also, Jantar Mantar protest reached the Prime Minister's residence. Aap said, this is all to hijack the protest. What do you think Rahul Gandhi is doing, and when is Mr. Kejriwal going to go to Ranchi?
Swati, good evening to you and all your viewers. I do think it does not concern me what Rahul Gandhi thinks. It does not concern me at all. What I can tell you with certainty is that it had 60 years to work on the education system in our country, and it is where it stands today. BJP inherited this system and has done nothing about it in the past 12 years. It has constantly since 2014. I mean, Radhika ji will give you incorrect numbers, I can tell you already, but you can fact check me on this, that the budget, the allocation from the budget on education has consistently declined under the GDP in terms of GDP spend. Now, having said that, it is good that education is coming into national discourse, because this is what Arvind Kejriwal ji has believed. It is his core ideology, education, which is the reason we did tremendous work on education while we were in Delhi, and the results were for all to see. When Pradhan Mantri Modi also sent Melania Trump to a Delhi government school and could not take him to a Gujarat government school, or now in Punjab, where we have regularized teachers and made sure there are no teacher vacancies. We made sure the infrastructure is top notch. We've made sure that the central government think tank again in now says Punjab.
My question was very simple. When is Mr. Kejriwal going to go to Ranchi? Now Radhika Khera wants to come in and wants to come in and counter quickly. Let me go across to it.
I'm just telling you, Swati. That these two parties have done nothing for education. Please know that, nothing. And in comparison, there is Arvind Kejriwal, who only worked on education more than over and above anything else. Now, also know one more thing, Swati, please, before you go to her.
Okay, Radhika Khera, allow a count, ma'am.
Yeah. Why?
Okay.
I just 1 second, you can go to her then.
Radhika.
Ask her, why are the BJP ministers missing when they were at the protest at Jantar Mantar? Why are they missing in Jharkhand now? I mean, ask them this. No, they're in the power. They should ask them. You should. Why don't you raise it?
Radhika can hear you.
Rahul Gandhi versus
Radhika can hear you. Now allow her to come in to counter. Go ahead.
You know, Swati, first of all, when the app
Yes, I just
spokesperson...
had to give one retort. I told you before you go to her.
Okay, thank you. First of all, when the app spokesperson starts a debate, first argument by saying Radhika will give wrong figures, it just shows her sheer nervousness because she knows that she does not have real facts on side. And I request you to have a debate specifically on... Ma'am, I didn't speak over you. Madam, I didn't speak over you. Please maintain the decorum. We are in a very civilized... We live in a civilized society.
You will lie.
Madam... See, Swati, you have to control this.
Okay, one second. Priyanka ji, you've asked her some questions. You've leveled allegations. Now allow a counter, ma'am. Please. It's only fair. Yeah, go ahead.
No,
go ahead, Radhika.
First of all,
giving her wrong. She was telling me that I'm nervous about it. I'm not. The data.
Yes, but allow her to speak, ma'am. Allow her to speak, ma'am.
And therefore, I preempted it.
I continue to maintain, Swati. I continue to maintain, Swati. Swati, can you please mute the lady? I would request you. I'm not here for a...
No, I don't function that way. I'm not going to mute anybody.
But Priyanka ji, please.
Priyanka ji, please. Priyanka ji, please. No, 1 second. Let's not derail the debate. Now allow her to counter. Radhika, go ahead, counter.
Don't make personal comments.
Ma'am, I don't know
that anymore.
Okay, all right. Allow 1 second. Priyanka ji, hold on. Priyanka ji, hold on. Hold on, you've spoken. Now it's her turn. Allow her to come in.
See,
go ahead.
I will continue to maintain that she is nervous because she started by making a personal attack at me that I will give wrong figures. So, apni marzi pe aati hai, meetha meetha, gab gab, kadwa kadwa, kuku. So, ma'am, personal is a very different definition when it comes to... Kindly control this lady. I do not function that way, Swati. I'm not the kind of an educated woman who cannot have a basic civil conversation on a debate. I do not wish to show to the people that I cannot, there cannot be a conversation. She needs to control herself.
Let's stick to the subject. Let's stick to the subject. Radhika, please go ahead with your counter. Priyanka, please. The debate is getting derailed, please. We are discussing a very, very important, sensitive issue, which matters to the youth of this country, the future generation, isn't it? So allow Radhika to counter.
Thank you. And she was talking about the Delhi model. Well, I do not wish to talk. Oh God! What is wrong with you, ma'am? Why are you so rattled today?
Priyanka, this is not how the debate will go ahead. This is not how the debate will go ahead. We need some discipline. You spoke, ma'am. Allow her to come in now and counter.
I feel really sorry for the Aam Aadmi Party.
Allow.
But aap jis tarah keh rahi hai, Swati ji, it is kind of...
I feel really sorry for this lady.
What is so funny? 1 second.
Because she does not care about the... Oh God. What's wrong with her?
Please go ahead, Radhika ji. Please
okay, now 1 second. Please hold on. Please hold on, Priyanka. You're making it... Both of you are making it about each other. Please, let's not make it personal. Like I said, we're discussing a very serious issue that every political party says that they are concerned about. Radhika, go ahead.
Swati ji, first correct yourself. I have not made it about myself. She started by making a personal comment and I just pointed out her nervousness. I have not
I am making a statement for everyone on the panel.
Please don't make it for me. Don't generalize it.
Let's
Madam,
talk about
don't generalize it.
Go ahead and give your counter. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. I have to move ahead. Instead, let's focus on how people have responded. I want to focus there. This is the question that we asked, the poll question. Should Rahul Gandhi go to Ranchi? And this is how people responded. 68% people have said yes, Rahul Gandhi should go to Ranchi. 25% people said no, while 8% have not been able to make up their mind. I'm thanking the guests. Thank you very much for joining us on debate number 1.